record. Perfect. Okay, I guess it's good evening in China, and it's good morning here in the United States. So what I want to talk to you guys about today is a mindset. And I teach this a lot in different areas. And mindset of a leader is very important because leaders inspire through their everyday actions and words. You know, just like Jason, you know, every day I know he's out there, he's putting things together. He's trying to get the team excited. And, you know, we have other teams in China that are doing the same thing. So what I want to do is try to give you a little blueprint to success so that you can start thinking about where your life is going to be in the next 2 to 5 years. And, you know, listen, if you're not interested in what we're doing here, that's great. But you got to have some kind of a successful mindset to know where you're going to be in the next 2 to 5 years, or you're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. Okay. See, inaction breeds doubt and fears. This is Dale Carnegie, wrote a book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. You know, action breeds confidence and courage. You know, the more you do in our business, the more you get bold, you get sold, you know what you're doing. You have the courage to go out and share the plan. Do it yourself, okay? So if you want to conquer fear, you don't just sit home and think about it. You go out and get busy, all right? And that's where most people fail in any business. I don't care what it is because they have the wrong mindset. They have a mindset of what they've been programmed. Just so you know, I just attended a conference in Austin, Texas, and one of the top brain people were there, neurologists who study. The guys looked at 5,000 different brains. And he said one of the common things that happen with everybody is you think anywhere between 60 to 70,000 thoughts every day. And 90% of them are the thoughts that you had yesterday. And that's why most people have created a mindset in the business opportunity is because they're still thinking the way they thought before, all right? You're still thinking about, you know, my job and all of those other different things that are holding you back. So we know, and you saw from the beginning, you know, basically, why did you basically want to get involved with us? Well, you saw that the company is great. Manatech is a great company. Listen, I've seen so many different companies out there. I get approached all the time. I will not leave Manatech because I know the value of the products and what they can do for you. The people that I deal with, my mentors, you'll get to meet Luciano. He's dying to meet everybody. He's a great guy, okay? But here's the thing I want you to understand. You're great, all right? But because of that, our industry is, we are in what we call a fear management business. And the reason why is because you've been programmed. You've been programmed your whole life since you were born. You know what? Your family, your school, TV, friends, husbands, wives, you know, the men you meet, the women you meet, everybody has an opinion. No success. You might not have a lot of success. People have too much success and they get programmed the wrong way. You know, they're too young, they're too old. They start looking for excuses, their job. These are repeating patterns that you're doing over and over again. Like I was talking about that psychology of that 70,000 thoughts where 90% of them you thought yesterday. And that's how your thoughts create habits. You know, when you're brushing your teeth, look what I just did. That's a habit. I know how to do that, okay? When you get in your car, I guarantee the next time you get in your car, look what you do. You don't even think about it because it's in your subconscious mind. So what happens, these repeating patterns are happening over and over and over again. And now that you're coming into business, what most people do is they rely on those past patterns. They don't think like an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur does different things because you've been programmed by, you know, if I don't like this job, I'll quit it. If I don't like this, I'll quit it. I'll move on. Entrepreneurs don't think that way, folks. Entrepreneurs get on a mission and they move forward. They don't just start trying to figure everything out. So, you know, good leaders are very important. Good leaders deliberately seek out and find potential leaders. That's what Jason has been doing in China. He's been going out and looking for people that he believes that can be part of the team that can really move his team forward and help change the lives of many, many people in China. Now, you might say, how's that going to change their lives? Listen, folks, when you truly understand the power of what our products are doing and the opportunity to help people financially, listen, I already did it. And I'm going to give you that vision in a minute. And, you know, great leaders not only find them, but they equip them to be great leaders. You see, you can find leaders, but you want to equip them to be great leaders, people that, you know, you can form a mastermind group together, and you can really kick off your business and go in the direction. You'll give them all the tools that they need, all right? You know, Jason and I were searching for different ways to put together a program so that I could share the screen with you guys. You know how many different things? I remember when we first got started, we were using WeChat. I was showing people using my iPad, you know, different things. I mean, it's crazy. But we found this platform. So listen, entrepreneurs don't get upset. We figure it out, all right? And that's what you want to be doing too. You want to figure out what your challenge is. The other thing that great leaders do is they create a vision, and they understand that true change is driven by emotion, not logic. And that emotion, folks, is your dream, the why. Why are you going to do this? In other words, you're going to transform the mundane life that you're living into a passion, and you're going to get your teams to rally around it. You know, that's what Jason and I are trying to do here, is to get the leadership to understand, listen, we want to go in and we want to develop huge teams of people. I'm telling you, 1 year from now, if you do this, what we're going to suggest in this window of opportunity, you can change the lives of so many people. I'm telling you, I've seen it done before. So leaders have a strong character and aren't easily swayed, okay, by what's popular and what's easy to do, okay? You know, so many people are like, I want to get into business. Oh, it's so easy to do. Let me tell you, that is BS, okay? There's no business is easy, folks. It requires work, okay? But when leaders are faced with a challenge, they do what is right, not what is easy. You know, sometimes it's, you know, people look for the shortcuts. Listen, as a leader, you look for what's right for your team, not what's right for you all the time. It has to be what's right for the team, okay? The people that you bring into this business, if you're only thinking about yourself, you'll never succeed in our industry. What you got to do is you got to think about the team. What's best for the team? What can I do to help the team, all right? Always do for others the right thing, because, like I said, we have too many people's lives at stake. So this is an MBA program, okay? This is a master's program that they study in college, and they identify 12 core elements of a millionaire's mindset. Number one is the passion to keep going when times are tough. Listen, I understand you're going to come into situations here where things are going to get tough. Somebody's going to quit. Somebody's going to disappear. Listen, you got to keep your passion out in front of you. You have to have self-belief to carry on against what the naysayers and the doubters. Listen, when I got in this business, my best friend, when I got in this industry 30 years ago, my best friend tried, honestly, to talk me out of it. He told me a bunch of garbage, and then 3 years later, I found out where he got that knowledge from. He got that knowledge because his aunt used to deliver a product to his mother, and he thought that that's what we did for a living. I wanted to kill him. But you know what? I am so grateful that I didn't listen to him. You know why? I retired when I was 42. I'll be 65 this year. He's still working, okay? And that's what I want you to believe on. It's to believe in yourself, that you don't listen to what other people are trying to do. I met 3 young people in the park yesterday. And I said to the one girl, I said, she said she was going to be a nurse. And I said, listen, you know, when you go for your dream, your best friends, everybody's going to try to talk you out of it. And she turned to a friend and she said, that was you. And man, I had a nice conversation with her other friend to explain to her, you don't take other people's dreams away. They do it. They want it. Those naysayers are trying to help you. But listen, folks, they're not basing it on facts. They're basing it on opinions, all right? The other thing that millionaires do is they have a desire, determination, and a drive. They desire to become successful and the drive and determination to achieve their goals. That's what you got to do. You got to have that drive. You know, ever since I met Jason, he was always finding something to go forward and recognize different opportunities that were out there. You got to have the courage. And this is where a lot of people fall. You know, I'm meeting with a Chinese girl this weekend. And you know what? Right now, she doesn't have the courage to move forward. Listen, her instincts are telling her to go forward. But you got to take that leap. You got to take that leap when you know that this is your opportunity to become an entrepreneur. Most people don't get offered the chance to become an entrepreneur in their life. And when they do, their self-doubt tries to take it away from them. You got to have a vision, to have a dream and inspire others to achieve it. I know Jason has a big dream here. I know his dream, he can see 100,000 people easily in his business in the next year or two. And you should be able to have that vision too. Because if one person can do it, you can do it. You got to focus now. Focus is the key, what they talked about in this master's program. You got to focus to achieve your goals and not get distracted. Listen, there was probably a bunch of people that were invited to this meeting tonight. But you know what they did? They went back to their old way of thinking, okay? They went back to those habits that they already created all these years. And they decided like, well, you know, I'm going to go to a party. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go there. I'm going to stop off and have a coffee, or I'm going to stop off to eat. Not realizing that if they want to change their future, they got to change their mind. They got to change their thoughts, and they got to think like entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs, the next thing is hard work and self-discipline. That's part of it. Hey, listen, you know, anybody that's in business knows it's hard work. Listen, I get up every morning planning things, what I'm going to do with you guys in China, planning things, what I got to do with other people in other places. And you know what? It's hard work sometimes, but you know what? It's worth it. Okay? It's worth it because this isn't really hard work. Not like if you got to go out every morning and wake up when it's raining and it's snowing and you got to get in a car or a bus or a train and you got to go to work. Hey, listen, I took all of that nonsense out of my life many years ago, but I got the mindset when I was in my 30s, when I was working 14 to 16 hours a day and I was trying to move forward. So, but I knew that if I worked hard for a short period of time, I could have the big period of time. So the same thing that we're doing here with China right now. We're trying to work hard in this window of opportunity to give people the opportunity to change their lives in the next 2 to 5 years. And you got to be persistent. You got to keep going and never give up. Okay? I'll never give up. You know what? If I can change Jason's life and everybody on his team's lives, man, I'm excited about that. I'm going to tell you about that in a minute too. You got to be optimism. You got to be you got to keep yourself around positive people. You know, I suggest that you go start reading self-development books like Think and Grow Rich, The Magic of Thinking Big. Start out with those 2 books. They'll change your life for sure. Leaders have wisdom and common sense. That's what multimillionaires always do. They learn from their mistakes, and then they're constantly thinking with a clear head. All right, you got to have a clear head and a clear vision. They're definitely opportunistic. You know, they're always alert to new deals and see the opportunity that others don't see. You see, when I talked to Jason originally about Manatech coming to China, he saw it right away. You know why? He saw that this was an opportunity, that there's 1 billion people in China, and what if you could get one little percentage of that? You know what that would do to your life? It would completely, change your life for the rest of your life, all right? So now your dreams don't have to be dreams. They can become reality, okay? And judgment and risk is another thing. You see, to make the right decisions, leaders and millionaires know, make the right decisions, all right? You know what one of the right decisions were? To be here tonight, okay? And, you know, if something came up and you used your past programming, okay, and things like that, I hope today I give you some value to help you change that, so that from this point forward, you'll start making the right decisions to start building your business as a successful entrepreneur and not with the job mentality, okay? The job mentality, everybody needs a job to pay the bills. I have nothing against jobs. But if you take your non-productive time, you can turn it into a multi-million-dollar business for yourself. So let's think about you guys going platinum. That should be your ultimate goal in China, all right? In the next 2 to 5 years, you should be thinking about how many people can I help reach the platinum level. You know, think about what's going on in the world right now. The Olympics are out there. You know, think about those world-class athletes. The secret of how these athletes became world-class is found in the combination of 2 fundamental ideas: desire and dedication. Well, listen, entrepreneurs think the same way. You got to have the desire to want to become a platinum, and you got to dedicate your time and energy to do it. Because if you think you're going to spend time with your friends and hanging out and partying all the time, let me tell you something. You'll end up partying until you die. And you know what? I always tell people that they tiptoe in their way to the grave because they're not having the opportunity to do things. So let's look at desire. Desire comes in 3 parts. It's dreaming, the vision, and focusing, all right? Let's look at dreaming. This is important. I want you to take this little exercise, okay? Have you let yourself dream lately? What I'd like you to do, whether you want to do it now while I'm going through a little story, or you want to do this later, that's up to you. But just sit down and begin to imagine all the incredible possibilities your life could become. I did this with a Chinese guy that I met in New York City. I met him in 1988. When the other company that's very big in China was opening up in 1995, I started to give him the dream. And I started to show him the dream of what could happen. And listen, folks, he saw the dream. He saw the dream of big organizations and teaching tens of thousands of people how to be successful in that business. And because of that, he has many apartments in Shanghai, China that he owns now. He owns a house in New York. He owns 2 apartments in New York. And they're in a very famous building in New York in the Chinese community. Anybody that comes to New York in Flushing, Queens knows this apartment. He owns 2 apartments there. But it all started with that dream. What is your dream? What size group do you see in your vision? What's your vision for how many people do you want to help? And you gotta do something every day. You gotta dream about that vision. When I get up in the morning, before I get out of my bed, I lay there for a few minutes and I visualize what my day is going to become and who I'm going to be. I was looking forward to this meeting because I expected that I was going to find the entrepreneurs, the people with the right mindset. And you know what? The ones that are here, that's who we're looking for. We're looking for the people with the right mindset and who are not living on the past bad habits that they got. So what you want to do is understand, if you're watching this, is to develop those habits, and it should start with your dream. Your dream is the most important. Next is your vision. Once you dream, you got to begin to cut back on all the possibilities. You got to narrow it a little, because so many people have all these big dreams. Oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to and they go on and on and on and on and on, and they do nothing. What you got to do is start to bring it down. You know, so when I look at having a group of 100,000 people in China, what I do is I break it down into the 4 groups, and I say, okay, there's going to be 25,000 in each group. Okay, then Jason's going to have this many, and this guy's going to have that many. And that's what you want to do. You want to start to narrow it down to who you're going to have on your team. Who's going to be the vision, you know, the visionaries on your team. Who's going to begin to create a vision for your life? Is it going to be your friends and your neighbors and your coworkers and things like that? Or is it going to be you that creates your vision for your life? And you got to see it. You got to get the vision. And you got to see what you want. You got to be the one that makes that decision. Then you got to become laser focused, okay? Not just focus, laser focused. Once you have the vision, you have to really focus in on that dream. Now, when you're focusing in on a dream, you're going to have a plan to do it. And that's what's really important. That's where most people leave off. They have the dream, but then they don't have a plan. So what it comes to is now your dedication to your dream. Okay? That's the dedication to the desire, to that dream. Okay? And there's 3 parts to dedication. Number 1 is the plan, number 2 is beginning, and number 3 is perseverance. So what first is the plan? Without a plan, you drift to and fro, back and forth, back and forth. You certainly cannot carry out a dream if you don't have a plan. Listen, we have a plan. You gotta really write this down, folks. You gotta make a list of every single person that you know in China. You should have 2 lists: the people who speak English and the people who speak Chinese. Probably even a 3rd list, the people who are Chinese that speak English and Chinese. Okay? And then what you got to do is you got to know what you want and how you're going to get there. How are you going to get those people here? Well, you got to go out. You got to talk to them. You got to contact them. You know, I don't know how the social media is there in China. We're going to discuss that because I want to start teaching you guys something that's going to blow your mind. And I just came back from a course, but I want to help the people on our team take advantage of social media, and I'll show you how that'll work at a later time. But what you got to do is you got to have your plan. You got to write it down. How many people are you going to talk to every day? You might say, oh, Mike, but I'm so tired. I work 10 hours a day. Hey, entrepreneurs don't think about that. 10 hours that you're working at your job, great. Now take an hour a day and go talk to some people. How many people are you going to talk to every day? Because remember, you're looking to find 4 people on your team. That doesn't mean you can't talk to and have 40 people that you personally bring into the business, but you want to get your frontline 4 and then teach them the same thing. But you want to keep putting people in front of this because you're going to help change their lives. Second is the beginning. This may sound simple and it's so profound, but many people have a dream and they even have a plan, but they never begin. They don't get started. Think about it. And don't anybody take this badly or anything, and don't feel offended by this, because so many people do it because they don't have the mindset yet. But how many people have you talked to? How many people have you invited to one of our presentations? You see, I know Jason's out there every day bringing people. But listen, as he's bringing the people and he brings you into the business, you need to duplicate what he's doing and bring other people to the business as soon as possible. Because that window is closing, folks. And when that window closes, you're going to say, oh my goodness, why didn't I do this a month ago? I'm telling you, trust me on that. I've seen this happen before, okay? So you got to take the steps in the right direction. The best step that you need to do is make a list of every single person that you know and talk to them about the opportunity. And don't care if they say yes or no. Some of them are going to say, oh, you better not do that. Oh, they're going to tell you it's a scam. They're going to tell you it's you'll die if you take those products. They have so many stupid things that they tell you, you know. Hey, you know why? Because they're doing what the crab in the bucket does. One crab in the bucket, you leave the lid off, he can get out. But if you put 2 crabs in the bucket and one tries to get out, the other one pulls them down. He'll actually rip your claw off to keep you in that bucket with them. And that's what most people screw up when they become entrepreneurs, is they start listening to other people. When I got in this industry, like I said, my best friend, he was that crab that tried to pull me down. I had family members try to pull me down. When I went in the restaurant business, same thing. People tried to pull me down. Don't worry about other people, folks. Worry about your dream and achieving it. And then you got to persevere. You got to understand this. Every great dream is going to have difficulties. You're going to run into difficulties in Manatech. I'm not going to lie to you. You're going to run into some difficulties. But don't worry about it, because that's where the team works together to get over those difficulties. You might say, I can't get people to the meeting. Find out. Sit down with somebody and find out what you're doing. Maybe you're saying too much or too little, okay? And then the other thing is people quit when they go through tough times. That's ridiculous. You know, can you imagine Michael Phelps, one of the greatest swimmers in the world, quitting because he lost a race? Okay? That's ridiculous. They're all going to have tough times. You know, the Chinese athletes that are winning the gold medals, imagine those young people, if they gave up on their dream because they fell one time or they didn't win every every event when they were younger, when they were practicing and learning, and they were determined to win. But now they stood up with that gold medal, and they're so proud to represent their country and to represent themselves because of the hard work that they did. So you got to keep on top of that. So what's the blueprint? Listen, we teach this all the time in our business. This is the Wheel of Fortune. You want to become successful in network marketing? You learn to make lists of names. Then you learn how to contact them. You contact the people. Then you take them to show them the plan, show them the opportunity. And then you follow up with them and find out what they really want. You know, you got to ask them questions. You know, when I show somebody the plan, you'll always hear me say, what did you like best? The opportunity, the products, or helping the kids, or all three? Then when I go and I sit down and I meet with them, I want to find out what their dream is. What's going to motivate them to move to the next step? I want to know that, okay? And you're going to want to know that. That's called the follow-up. Now, out of this Wheel of Fortune, 90% is the follow-up. Not the list, not the contacts, not showing the plan. It's following up to see if they really are serious about where they want to go in life. So listen, that's just to give you a little insight, to get you a little understanding of what the mindset of an entrepreneur is. And all I want to I just want to keep telling you and sharing you with this. Remember what that doctor said. He said 60 to 70,000 thoughts every day, but 90% of them are the day before that creates your habit of success or failure. So when you learn something new, if you go and apply it, you gain it. It stays with you. It'll start to become one of those habits. That's why I read books every day. That's why I listen to something positive every day, because I'm constantly learning and moving ahead and moving forward, all right? And that's what you want to do too. That's where a lot of people mess up in school. They go to school, they get educated, but then they don't apply the education they learned the day before, and they forget it, okay? Because it disappears. That's something, you ever heard the expression, either you use it or you lose it? That's what it means. So if you learn something new here today, I pray that you go out and apply it and change your life in the next 2 to 5 years, and let us work with you on the blueprint, and don't waste any more time, okay? So have a good day. I hope this helped. If it did, hey, let's rock and roll.